What's up? What's up? Just going live. Really ain't got no videos to do. Making baits since the same baits we've been making. So I don't want to bore you with a bunch of the same ones. Even though we are cold, just starting. Cold, 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 cold. Everybody else getting that cold front? Little false spring was nice and pretty, and now it's not. Bunch of rain. Knocking out some curly tail shad buddies and some stingers. It's that time of year. So welcome, welcome, welcome if you're here. Just thought I'd see who else was not doing anything. Good evening, good evening. Man, I'm telling you, I'm about sick of this cold. What's up? Boy, some of y'all gonna be in trouble. It's Valentine's Day. What the? Unless y'all like me, like, man, you know. No, mine's working. Mine's working. I don't really have enough to do a video because I'm shooting a lot of the same baits, but it's that time of year for me. A lot of crappie baits. And I gotta get them knocked out, I guess. You know, that time of year. Good thing though, I'm ready for freaking spring. We had a nice warm up there for a couple days, and now it's right back to cold and rainy. Y'all don't know, I don't put my stuff on anything. I just use the heat gun. Nuke it up real quick. Because usually that first shoot, I get it'll start setting up between my injector and my blending block. It's real cold. And again, I don't live here anymore. I mean, I still have this place, but I don't live here because I'm staying with my dad. Taking care of him, and so I keep the air pretty much or the heat very, very low because I'm not here. Power bill's outrageous if I don't, so I just come in and turn it up when I get here. It takes it a while to warm up. I could put these on the griddle, but I ain't messing with it. I'm excited, man. I ordered some baits from Blue Line Baits. He sent me some stuff. I'm waiting on it to come. It should be here for long, but some mold I've been thinking about getting, but I love to see the baits first, and I like ordering from other bait makers too. I'd rather buy from them than buy from, I hate to say that because I work at one, but at the stores. Oh, you ain't working too hard there, Mr. Roberts. Hey, brother, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I ain't hit you up and try and get nothing out of you. I'm a buying guy, bro. Support each other. That's what I like to do. Other bait makers, stuff like that, because that's what we do, and we make better freaking baits than the ones we get at the store, man. You can tell people, but until they fish with them, I mean, especially on colors anyway, but these colors have been really good, man. This is the, honestly, this one here, I just added the Triton scales or whatever, trying to do it without making a mess, but I need to darken it up just a hair, but honestly, that's a bunch of remelts. Oh, that I left in the car. I need to get out. I used the runners from some laminates and just mixed them together with some of the June bug. Damn, you know what I'm trying to say? The June bug pixie dust, and it has some the Triton scales in it, so I went ahead and put them. Hey, brother. Hey, today's a good day for me just to pour baits. It's not great weather. And like I said, I got some orders, man. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong, but it's been busy with my old man. I just say old man, y'all. It's not a disrespectful thing. Anybody knows me, I'm a daddy's boy and I love my old man to death, so I've been busy. Hey, get paid to watch YouTube? That's even better. I like getting paid to do absolutely nothing, but that don't work. I was wanting to go fishing, but man, it's the wind's up just enough to where it's a pain in the butt in my boat. Again, I got a little 18-foot aluminum boat, little tracker. But don't let it fool you. I won some money in my little bitty tracker. The little hunk of junk has beat some Phoenixes and some Caymans, all that good stuff. They might laugh when I roll up, but they ain't laughing when I'm leaving taking their money. Like I said, guys, man, here, this cold front's gonna mess them up, but they were right, getting ready to move up to do their thing to spawn here. But this cold front is really gonna push them back, but I like it that way. I like catching them where other people can't. Once they move up, man, you can pretty much catch them one after the other on certain brush piles or just blow downs, lay downs, whatever. So I like when they push back on them deeper docks. It's just I was wanting to do another fishing video, but do it on how I catch them when they're up shallow, using a cork, you know, or whatever. But I like when they're stacked up because I can actually see what the bigger fish are. Why is it not keeping the comments up there? I don't know, but I just saw a comment and it disappeared on me. But again, that's the remelt from the June bug pixie dust that I really love. And the Triton siren scales, guys. I'm telling y'all know I love if you've been on here, I love them rupees and that pixie dust a lot. Them freaking siren scales, bro. I really fell in love with them. It just gives a different dimension to the baits that we don't get. I'm shooting just these bass tackle molds. Yeah, brother, you better head to town with the family. It's Valentine's Day. You'd be in some trouble. I was into the woods, I guess I commented. That's why I couldn't see it when it first popped up. But glad to see you back making some videos too, bro. Your videos are very detailed, especially on the lead pouring stuff. My best friend does all my lead pouring, really. And when he gets busy or tired or don't want to do it, I'll go over there and pour some. But yours are very detailed. Love your videos. I love you guys' videos. A lot of you guys need to start making videos. It's slow going, I think, to get it started, but once you do, and it gets rolling, you know, it ain't bad. But for me, is I've met a lot of good people on here, man. Oh, there's not, man. And like I said, you've showed me some things like with just 3M tape, because I can't stand to get a football jig or a shaky head and it be offline just a little bit. I'm picky. I don't know why, but when it comes to making money or competing in tournaments, I'm picky about things. I want to make sure I'm getting a good hook set. You know, I'm getting this and that. So, and even some of the store-bought ones. Like I said, I work at Sportsman's Warehouse part-time, and we get some stuff in there that's just not quality. Bro, the 8-bit stuff's great, man. And I'm straight honest about things. I do not, you know, I made an order from him first. He did send me some stuff. Michael's a cool guy. But I made an order because I don't want it to affect how I talk about it. And bro, he's shit. Okay, I've got. Matter of fact, I'm supposed to be doing some more another engraze mold, but I'm just so backed up with orders right now. I will. Um, I'll get them soon. I've got a couple that he sent. One's a swim bait. That's all I've got right now. But if I can ever get an answer from or get a number for Epic, I've tried to email them. For some reason, it won't let me email them. I messaged them on Facebook. They have actually moved from Florida to Anderson, South Carolina, right in my backyard. They're 5 minutes from here apparently, but I don't know where. And I'm wanting a mold, and that's the reason I actually ordered the baits from Blue Line. Um, Blue Line baits, because he has that mold. And I really want to see them in person before I buy the mold, but I was just going to drive by there and pick it up. You know, if they have them in stock, which I've heard they do. Oh boy, there's them, probably ain't showing up real good today, I don't know why. But the siren scales, and of course the bottom's a green highlight with some more, and just a little bitty bit of pixie dust that was left over. Again, I remilled every dang thing, because, you know, it ain't free, I don't get it for free, so got to reuse it. So I remilled runners and everything else. But here, these are my two biggest selling baits, but I want to add that 2-inch that I got from Blue Line. What is it? What do they call it? A crappie crusher? Sorry about saying crappie, that's just what we was raised, bro. I think it's by Epic, 2-inch crappie crusher. So I'm wanting to pick that up, but you know, I can't make contact with them or something. I don't know. The website don't really have a good contact number, so if anybody has one for Epic, let me know. Because they, like I said, they've actually moved into my backyard. And I didn't even know it. The only way I found it, my store manager was like, some guy was here from Epic Bait Molds. I was like, nah. He said, yeah. I said, bro, they're in Florida or something. He said, no. He said they just moved here. So apparently 4 or 5 months ago, they moved to Anderson, South Carolina, which is cool. And there's a mold I've been wanting from. There's actually 2 molds I want, but I'm going to get, I want that 2-inch crappie crusher, and then I think it's a crappie crusher is what it's called. Like a little fork tail. And then got a little crawl that I want, but I'm also wanting that one that Jacob did on Into the Woods for the old buzzard, I think it is. I really want that one because I don't have a bait like that. So those are next on the agenda to get. I just need to quit spending so much money, you know, because I'm bad about spending money. Yeah, crappie crusher, that's it. David, but I suck at your last name, DePaulo. Anyway, Blue Line Baits. You got some good looking baits too. I saw one and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need some of them. So if you're on here and you don't make baits, guys, don't buy Bobby Garland's and stuff. You know, and a lot of people think Bobby Garland still owns that. No, he sold to another company a long time ago, overseas company. So, bro, that old buzzard looks good. I love the size of it. So that's gonna be my next one. You got a, before I order it, you got a affiliate link, I think, or do you? If you do, I'll do it through there. I like to do that, guys. Anybody's got affiliate links, man, try to use it. I'm in the process now, honestly, of trying to get one with my workplace. It's just a pain from Sportsman's Warehouse because I buy all my terminal tackle and everything like that. And if I can get them to give y'all a discount, or anybody a discount, I'm going to try it. I mean, I'll work there, they should. So if anybody's got affiliate links, man, use them things. It helps them out too with a little bit of kickback, you know. Not that, I mean, this ain't my living, don't get me wrong, I don't do this for a living. This is just a little side deal. I am trying to, I got one store that wants me to go in there. After thinking about it, I think I'm going to. Okay, well, either way, I was going to order either way, discount or not, but to get you a little kickback, I'll definitely do it to the affiliate link. Support these guys' affiliate links, man. They're great. And support these other guys, man. Like I said, you may not be into them high temp molds, but I love the engraved molds. Just if I don't want to spend $200 on something, not knowing how it's going to sell or if I'm going to use it, I love them molds. Love the Epic molds. Love Hog Salad molds. Of course, Angling AI. All of them make good molds, but in my eyes, honestly, the two best quality-wise, and this probably isn't going to be the popular opinion, but is Epic and Hog Salad. They just make great molds, man. Quality molds and little things like the engravings on the outside, I love that. Not taking away from the other ones, they make great molds too, but as far as pure quality, in my eyes, you're not beating Hog Salad and Epic right now. Now there's some I haven't bought from neither. I've seen some new guy. I don't get on Facebook a whole lot, but I need to do more of that. That's why I've been getting messages out about wanting baits. Because I do not have a website. And I really don't want to do one. So if anybody's interested, man, when you see my email that I put on, I just used the wrong freaking thing. You can make contact with me through my email if anybody wants baits or wants molds or whatever. I am fixing to move a lot of molds. So if you're a bait maker and you're interested, I'll do it here first to give y'all first dibs. Because I don't really post on Facebook or none of them groups or anything. I'll go through there and look, but sometimes there's drama in them things and I just stay away from that crap. But I've got like the AR worms, one of them's core shot, something like that. I got the mag and the regular. Getting rid of those. I've got a Kitech, whatever you call it, style swim bait. I'm gonna get it going. It's a 4.3, I believe. Yeah, they do shoot great, man. I mean, selection wise, when I saw the old buzzard, it's just a little different, but the size for me, the second one, the smaller one, I want that. I do a lot of jig fishing when I do bass fishing. And we'll be starting up bass fishing here before long, our tournament start up. So, but I love the size of it. I think it's going to fit not just my full size like the football heads, but the finesse heads as well as, also. So I definitely want that mold, and I want it sort of quickly because it'll come up soon when we start fishing our little black bass club, and then we have a lot of little open derbies around here on Lake Hartwell. Lake Hartwell is so overfished, guys. Golly, pressured, and it's now a spotted bass lake. And for a while that was a pain, but our spots have started growing, man. There's some 5 and 6 pound spots being caught, so not as bad. But I agree with you. Hog Salad makes that great quality mold. Their selection maybe isn't as big, but they make quality mold. They still shoot a lot of these using them as trailers. The Gilly, bro, I've shot that thing 9 million times. I also got to make some salmon eggs too. I don't know if I'll do that today or not, but I got to make some more of the salmon eggs that I make. I like making them because I like going up trout fishing with them. For our release trout, because I know somebody would be like, oh, they're a release trout. Well, yeah. I mean, the rainbows wouldn't live here. We do have brooks or browns. I can't remember which one is native. I think it's the brooks. They are native, but you gotta get way off the beaten path. I've recently been talking to the owner of Hog Salad. They have several new baits in the works. That's awesome, because I sort of agree. They don't have a big selection, but their molds are on point, son. That Gilly, I've never had a problem shooting. Not too hot, not too cold, it don't matter. It just shoots perfect bait for me. And with all the ridge detail and everything in it, you wouldn't think you'd, not have any problems out of it, but I have none. It's one of the molds that I love to shoot. And I also have to shoot one that I hate here in a minute. I don't hate it, don't get me wrong, but it has to be one all my molds shoot great cold. Except for the grub mold from Ainley AI, but the runner on those are real long, so the plastic has a long way to go. And I have to sit here and put the heat into that mold for quite a while. Just, again, nothing, not dogging them, just, I hate shooting that mold. It has to be hot. And it's one of the only ones, like I said, I like to shoot my molds cold. On my injector and block, I have to warm up. But molds, I really like shooting cold, except for that one, man. It is such a pain. But these are my best sellers right here that I'm shooting now. They're 2.5-inch grubs, a good seller for me too. But having to shoot tails, put them over in there, I can't stand it. But we catch a lot of fish on these stingers up here around docks and stuff. So that's what we are doing, shooting them stingers and these little curly tail bodies. Sometimes I'll go to them, but my confidence bait is that stinger, man. But I do want a 2-inch bait as well when I get a little finicky. I do have a little small, the mold's so old I don't even know where I got it from. I got it when I first started making baits. God, I don't know when I started. It's been quite a while now. But I'm gonna shoot some. It's right here. When they get real finicky, and you can see the use I got out of this thing. It's back when I used to use some metal clamps, but I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is a great little bait when they get finicky. It's just a smaller profile. But what I really love about it is if I need to take it even shorter, I can notch it off a little bit. And I don't know how many times I've shot this mold, but that's one of them I'll never get rid of. So I've got a lot of bass ones that I am going to get rid of. I am getting rid of also, I think I've got another, I got a 2.5-inch saucer tail from Fat Guys. I haven't shot it, so I'm going to get rid of it too. So like I said, I'll probably put it up on YouTube first before I do it on any other social medias or whatever. But I will be getting rid of those. If anybody's interested, it'll be a little cheaper than what you would buy new. My molds are taken care of, except for maybe that slap tail one, because that's back when I used these round end clamps. But you're not hurting the mold, you know what I mean? The outside may look a little scratched up on this one, but I've had that mold for so long. But that one ain't going nowhere. That's one of them that I will always keep. So if you like a certain bait, keep them, man. More than siren scales. Back to that stuff, man. Apparently there was some talk about it being overpriced or whatever. I don't think so. I think it's great crap. Great crap. I didn't mean to say crap, but I think it's great stuff. It just gives a, man, the powders are so much clearer, and it doesn't like powder up your plastic, you know, it like gives it that, I don't know how to explain it. Certain ones will color your plastic with like a milky type. This is just, when you put, say, the pixie dust in there, it's just the dust. There's no coloring your stuff. It's just great. I have nothing but good things to say about it. And I'm usually a picky, I ain't picky, but I am on certain things. And at first I was like, I'm not paying that price for that. But then I got to looking at some of the baits being made. He was making, Jacob was making, Rabbit. It's quality stuff. So you get what you pay for. I've got a ton of these things from Temu and, or what do you call it, off Amazon. And they work, they're good, don't get me wrong, but nothing compares to them, bro. It's good stuff. And again, I made an order, so don't think I ain't spent $100-something with it. If it was junk, I'd tell you, but it's not. It's really good. Like I said, these siren scales, boy, please. Son, here's the thing about remelts. When I'm chunking them back in there, I'll throw some of this in there. And when you get your bottom color in there to lighten it up, sometimes you just got to add a few more drops of black to darken it back up. And that's what I need to do now because it's starting to get a little thin up there, but that's fine too. I'll make some that I run for a little clear water, and I do these a little bit cheaper because they're not see how it's fading down from that one a little bit because I added some more. I'll do these a little cheaper because it's remelts. You know, it's not me mixing up new plastic and starting over. But I gotta do some chartreuse and white. I mean, you can make all these pretty ones, which they are bad A, and that's what I've been catching them on, is that color and that June bug and the Ursula scales. Those, boy, them are some good looking baits when you mix them too. And I put a little pixie dust in the bottom as well and a little blue highlight. Man, it looks good. I mean, looks good. And I've been catching the snot out of big crappie right now. So you hear all these people, oh, I just caught a 3 pound needed. Man, that thing was 14 inches. It ain't 3 pounds. So I've been catching some legit 2 pounders, which is a big crappie. And some, I think I caught one that was 2.6 on another boat. Buddy might have had a scale. I didn't, of course. Oh, dang. I gotta make 10. I'm waiting on the chartreuse. I gotta make 10 of these. At least 10 of them. Here's what I'm talking about, remelts. This is a different one that I make. This is actually from that's got the blue rupees and blue highlight in it. The rupees just make that highlight do a little bit more. But I'll throw these in too. I'll remelt all this crap. Add a few more drops of black. Good to go. Now I will, when I'm reheating, I'll just chop it up in a little bit smaller pieces, just to help it melt quicker, so you don't have no problems with overheating. Or getting your plastic too hot and you still have a big chunk of plastic in there, it's got to be melted down. So. But while we're here, guys, everybody's a bait maker on here, man. Comment who you are or what your channel is, if you make videos or just if you just make baits. Because like I said, I'll try to order from folks first. Like I said, I saw how good blue lines looked, and I was like, I need some of them. Look, here's some more. I'm gonna remelt all this. When I pull them off, I bring this stuff right back in. When we stay at my dad's, I'll take some stuff over there to package while I'm, not taking care of them, but watching after them, And I'll bring back 10 or 20 runners and I'll get to remelting, bro. It don't bother me a bit. And baits that don't turn out, bloop, remelt them. That is what I do. And I am now using the red label because a lot of people are wondering about Calhoun's. I left Calhoun's because they had a distributor in South Carolina that wasn't worth a crap. Screwed a lot of people over. And so I actually talked to I made contact finally. And they didn't really seem to care that he was screwing people over, so I'm done with it. And I hate that because I really love that plastic. So now I'm using the red label. I gave it a shot and I like it. I wasn't a fan of the black bucket. I know it's not a popular thing neither, but I wasn't a fan of it at all. So it makes people mad. Oh well, it makes them mad. But you go with what you like or what you're comfortable with. And I love the Calhoun's. Like I said, I just thought it was very friendly, user-wise. Bubbles weren't bad, but the red label isn't either. You can see I just added that, and I ain't vacuum chambered or nothing. You might get some small micro bubbles, but you can get them out pretty easy. Pretty easy. If you vacuum chamber it, you ain't gonna have no bubbles. I said I was gonna do a video, but man, these are the same. You know, I'm using the same colors because that's what my orders are right now. There's no reason to do a video on the same thing I've been doing. So I decided I'd get live and see who's on here, see who's gonna be in trouble because they ain't getting ready for Valentine's Day. So if y'all ain't single, you probably will be before long. No, I'm just playing. I'm single, but you know, have a lady friend. Yeah, it's starting to get light. I gotta add some black. But like I said, these that are remelts, I'll package in a different packaging and I'll run them cheaper. I'll go to the flea markets. Not flea markets. There's one here in Anderson. It's a pretty big flea market, and you can do pretty well out there. I've done farmers market, stuff like that, and done pretty good. I do better out there on like my floating keychains or have names on them. If you don't have the right names, you know, people will order, hey, can you make me one for my son? Whatever. So that's what I do for that little side hustle, you know. So next thing coming up is I've got hardener from Bait Plastics. I don't know if I can add it to this or not. I'm gonna have to order some. I'm about to make some saltwater baits, and my plan is about April, May, I'm gonna run down there and do some fishing, try and do a video using my my baits down there. So that's the plan. Run down to Charleston, South Carolina, try to catch some redfish, spotted sea trout, and some flounder. We're gonna go give it a shot. 'Cause I ain't been in a while now. I think the last time I went was 2 years ago for Bike Week, and I didn't even ride my motorcycle hardly any. I fished because I was catching flounder just one after the other. Just hit it just right. It was the fall bike rally, and man, where we were staying was on a little tidal creek, and it was loaded with flounder. So everybody's like, "Hey, you want to go to the beach?" I'm like, "Nah, I'll fish. I'll go ahead and go." And then we'd ride at night. Once it got dark or something, I'd go ride. But I was busy, man, catching them daggone doormat flounder I was catching. So I love to do that as well. So I'm gonna get some hardener. I don't know if I can use the Bait Plastics. Anybody know if you can combine it? I know they'll say you can't, but I've still got some of their hardeners and softeners because I'd use it for the Calhouns. Just gonna add some black to that. Again, the siren scales, the pixie dust. Oh, I was about to do a video, just a little funny one from Michael, but gotta wait on it just a little bit. It's gonna be hilarious, I think. I got my ideas on what I want to do, but it's gonna be hilarious, I think. I know where some of y'all from. Where's everybody from? Let me know. Don't be quiet. Come on, talk to me. I'm bored. I ain't got my music playing, so I'm bored. Talk to me. I guess having the thing turned this way, I'm not seeing, or it'll pop up the comments, but it goes off pretty quick. Texas, what's up, man? When I duck hunt, I'm not far from you down there. What's up, Mr. Graves? My homeboy right there. And I saw what's up, Toby, but I didn't see who it was from because it went off that quick. Mr. Graves, I hope everything's going good for you down there. I know you're from Texas too. I hope y'all warmed up, man. It's done got cold here again. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Indiana. Swamp Bottom, what's up, buddy? I watch your stuff too. I like your videos too. I like all y'all's, man, because you always learn something from anybody, man. Mississippi. Yes, sir. Man, I want to do some duck hunting down there. We drive through and see some great looking swamp areas in Seattle Marsh when we're going to Louisiana. Golly, and I think redfish. Mr. Gray, it got cold here too, man. Like I said, I wanted to fish, but it is freaking cold. I'm also going to do another color here before too long. Mr. Graves is getting MF color as well. This is Blue Fleck. I just opened it and shook it up. I haven't even used it yet. But he's getting some from MF, and you know I love MF. Regardless of what's going on or what they're doing. So, Skipper Lewis from the UK, what's up, brother? How are you? What do you fish for over there? I'm getting ready to put Mr. Graves' the chicken bake to work. Like I said, we got a little open derby coming up. My little tournaments don't start, but a buddy of mine fishes these little derbies. And he's like, hey, I need you next week or something. So if it ain't too cold, I'm gonna fish. If it's cold, I ain't fishing. Shot some of the smelter again the other day. I get a lot of questions about engraves, and he's on here. That's even better. I have had the Helter Smelter. Another Indiana. What's up, bro? I've had that smelter for over a year. No problems. It's still going. The high temp resin molds have been good for me, and you know the price point especially. If anybody has any questions about them that I can't answer, food and fun, baby. You know, he can. That's great. If you wasn't here in time, I am catching up on orders, man. I have been hammered, which is a good thing. Not hammered like, you know, big things, but, you know, got 10 or 15 orders I got to fill. But it's that time of year here. It's time for them big slabs, and the people that know. And they're out there fishing for them before they move up the spawn. That's a little opaline green, a little green highlight. I'll make some with green highlight, some with blue highlight. I've got some others, some red pearls, some violet. I really like the violet highlight. But I just try to mix it up, not do them all the same. So you basically have 3 different baits instead of 1 bait. Just because the bottom will be different. Pretty low, man. Oh, that was a lot thinner. Let's give it just a few more seconds. Alright, again we're shooting the 2.5 inch curly that I love. And the Stanger. And the Stanger. I fish the Stinger a lot. That's just a confidence bait for me. Y'all may have your confidence baits too. Mine's that 2.4 inch Stinger. Just catches fish, man. For me. Put a little more black. Uh-oh. I think I'm finally out. I don't know how long I've had that bottle, but it is now gone. But I got another one from Mr. Graves as well, which is the MF Pro. How many colors you carrying, Mr. Graves? So I like supporting friends and buddies and all that good stuff. So if they've got a product, that's the one I'm gonna get. I'm gonna add a little Skeletor just to pep this thing up a little bit. The Skeletor. Just pep it up a little bit. Like I said, these are remelts, so it doesn't I sell them cheaper. I do 4-pack on my crappie baits, and the remelts I do 3. Because it's not something that I can produce again sometimes because it is just remelts. But I do try to keep the remelts together. Oh, about 10 colors, cool. Happy with a dragonfly. I don't know. I'm sure I could. I ain't saying I'm all that, but I can catch a daggone crap in them. But that's what I love doing, that striper. So, I need to look at your colors then. I need to get on your site. I haven't looked. Just been busy, guys. Busy. A little work, some, and then me and my dad's been doing so good for about, 5-6 months, and we're back to some problems again. But I mean, nothing we can't handle. So, he fell the other day, and I was at work. But anyway, I got home and found him, and thank God he'd only fell like 5-10 minutes before I got home. So it bothers me being gone from him, but gotta do what you gotta do, to make a little extra money. And I don't work 3 days a week, so for 5 hours. They've tried to give me hey man, why don't you just do full time? I'm like, nah, I don't wanna do that. Especially with, him having his issues. But he's 85, guys. If you still got your parents, man, be blessed. I am. I'm 51 and still got my dad, so I know a lot of people don't, so I'm a happy and blessed man. He is my number one. People like, you probably put him somewhere. I'm like, nah, I ain't putting him nowhere. Well, man, I ain't. I'm not gonna do it. Because he wouldn't do it to me. Bam. Alright. Anybody else do the same crap I did? Remelt stuff and see what it comes up with? It's all going to be about the same as, what you put in there. Because once you darken it back up, again, just add a little bit more of the, that's the Skeletor. Just added a little bit of it just to give it a little pop. And it doesn't show good in here on the camera, but gives you a good purple and just some awesome colors. Love them. Well, I'm gonna do some of my worms, my shaky head, and some of my finesse worms, trick worm, whatever you want to call it, and that blue fleck, because once it warms up good, we'll be doing oh, I missed it. Come back. Missed the comment. My bad. We'll warm up pretty quick down here and we'll start doing night tournaments. Tennessee! What's up, man? Ain't too far away. Spent a lot of time up there when my son was in diesel school up there in Nashville. In the Ville. Some cool places up there, man. It was NADC, I think was the name of the Diesel College. So that gave me a reason to go up and check out Nashville when he was there. Anyway, I got 2 step twins that I raised, they're mine. And I had one from before. He's in Texas, he's in El Paso, so if anybody's close to El Paso. My little man and my grandbaby's down there. My little grandbaby and my son. My son's 26, 7. pretty bad if I don't know that. But 26, 27. Damn. But anyway, check out this thing. So my idea was to do a video, but these are the same colors I've been using. I've still got a bunch of the 8, well not a bunch, I still got some 8-bit that I haven't used yet. But right now I can't keep up with orders with my other stuff going on. Yeah, I need to go visit and I can stop by, but the problem is when I get to Louisiana, there's still another 12 hours to get to it. All the way across. Ain't like he's in Houston where I can just, hour and a half, 2 hours get there. Electric chicken. Unless you do it with the flake. Yeah, flake only. I know it ain't the best, but man, these have been freaking awesome. Still got some left. Blue Line, I've taken the flake with me tonight and I'll get it weighed up. Send you what we need to do. He's liking that green. He's making a color that's pretty cool, man. I saw it and I was like, oh, I need that color. He called it avocado. I never steal it, but it looked really good. Alright. Ain't a lot of that pixie in there, but I can see it clear as bell. And of course on the camera, you're not going to freaking see it, but you can see it in bad A siren scales, though. Them siren scales, bro, are just money. Money, money, money. Gives you a whole new dimension, man. Oh. There's some more. Go back in there. I remelt, boys. I remelt. One after the other. I'll cut these up a little bit. Now after so long, or after so many remelts, I'll go ahead and run it dry in that cup and start refresh. I don't care what you do, eventually you're going to get a little yellowing eventually after 10 or 12 remelts sometimes. Doing it this way, it's different if you're in a, what's that machine called? I want one, but I just really don't have the, I don't need it. I want it, I don't need it. Let's put it that way. And I sit here and do baits like this just as quick. Shooting star, that's what I was talking about. If you're in like a shooting star or something, keeping it one steady temperature, you'll be fine. But when you're remelting, you may run it a little hot sometimes. You're going to get some changing in color. It's that 2.5 inch little shad body. This I'll go to if they're not wanting, which is unusual. Good question, man. How I got started? I got started because I would buy baits. I love to catch crappie, however you want to say it. One of my favorite things to do is stripers. I love catching all those better than bass, but I started out just making crappie baits. I got tired of them tearing up so quick and easy, and that's when I learned back in the day, super glue them to your jig head or whatever. But I started making them, and I started out with a grub. Before I got the Angler AI ones, I can't remember who I got it from, but that guap looks really good for sure. I started out making them. I'd make the body firm and the tail soft. And you get some guy saying, "Oh, it's got to be soft for or the crappie will spit it out." No, it won't. I've caught. I ain't bragging or nothing. I can catch freaking crappie, bro. But that's what got me started, was making my own crappie baits. I started out with 2 molds. one little single injector, and then it jumped into some more crappie baits, and then it turned into bass stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with most bait guys, may know, may not know. It depends on where you're at. Most places here, it's including where I work at, it is really hard to outsell Zoom here. Zoom is it's been popular here for many, many years. Your stores, whether they're family owned or independent, will tell you the same thing. It is hard. We knocked some out right now. That's what we knocked out so far. So we're getting there, in a couple more. But it is really hard to outsell Zoom here. So if you're just doing a trick worm just like they have, most of the stores will be like, well, it's the exact same thing as Storm, but if someone comes in, they're going to buy Zoom. I don't push my bass baits as much. I do it for a lot of tournament guys and myself. And I do make some when I go to the flea markets or I go to a farmer market. They have these little days setting up stuff, whatever. And I've done really well there. But mine is basically on the bass side of things. A lot of tournament guys, and then some of my law enforcement guys that just want to support my business, which is awesome. But with crappie baits, I can offer something different. Now, like the tracer, especially with these bad A colors here and stuff, I can offer something different there. But if you're just shooting, your traditional stick baits or whatever, if they have Yamamoto, you and I both know we're making a better quality product, but people buy those if they don't know your product. So that is what you will hear from most store owners, business owners. So where my little business excels, or what I say excels, is on the crappie baits. That's my biggest thing. And I started out with, I always keep them in the truck. I always have baits in my truck or car or wherever I'm driving at the moment. And the reason is, if I go fishing and I see kids on the boat ramp, boat dock or whatever, I just give them some. Because I remember when I was young and I had no money, but we lived one road up from Lake Hartwell. So I was fishing all the time, but I didn't have no money. I couldn't go buy baits, so I'll keep some, and some of these remelt and stuff like that, I'll just give them to them. It's no money out of my pocket. It's remelts of baits that I'm going to sell. So that's how I started out doing that, and then I got into a couple of little small stores, and then one, it's a small store, but it sells a ton of fishing stuff, just in a great location. Put some in there, and then like I said, man, when I go to the flea markets or these whatever, I get a lot of return customers that way. I don't have as many customers because some are afraid, I guess, of getting scammed, because I don't have a website. It is what it is. I want one, but I don't want one at the same time. Me and technology do not get along. So if you're into that technology, and stuff like that, get you a website. It will help your sales. But just remember what sells, what doesn't sell. Because I went through it too, man. I've got so many molds. Like, oh, this is different. Well, it's not. And you'll hear people say, oh, so-and-so copied it. Every bait's a copy. I don't care. These same people that say, oh, so-and-so copied this, so-and-so copied that. They're shooting a stick bait made by some other company. Get off your high horse. Every bait is a freaking copy or something close to what's out there. Because there's 19 million baits already. Think how many have been tried and just didn't work out. So I get so sick of hearing that sometimes, you know. It's not just me, it's for just on social media. That's why I'm getting on there. But people are always, oh, so-and-so copied this. So, they're all copies. They're all freaking copies of something. But that's why I like baits like the Mr. Graves MF crawl. That was a crawl that MF made back in the, if you're still on here, was it 70s or 80s? And he knows them very well. So anyway, they want him to redo it, you know, like it was, and that's why I like that bait. It's old. It hasn't been seen in a while, and I haven't fished it yet because again, I'm not on the bass yet. I will be, but I'm not. A long time ago, and but it looks to me like a grass shrimp, and I'm even going to pour some up for when I go to the coast and fish for reds and flounder and trout. But it's something different. And is it close? Yeah, it's close. Everybody is close to everything, but it's different. I'll show you all that if you didn't see that video didn't do well. I don't know why. Some videos do good, some don't. My fishing video did really well. And I don't know why, because I'm just casting and catching big ass crappie. But that's why I was hoping it would warm up so I could go catch them a different way once they move up to spawn. But that fishing video did great, so if you watched it, man, I appreciate you guys watching. It means a lot. I think it got like 6,000 views or something, which is big for me. Let me do these and I'll show you that crawl I'm talking about and why I like it, just because it's different. I did give some, I had a guy order, I don't know if this is true, but Zoom apparently, once it's gone from what they have now, apparently green pumpkin green is going to be a thing of the past. We got word that they're not making green pumpkin green anymore, so I had a guy hit me up, of course wanted some green pumpkin green. They're close to their color. I'm like, yeah, you know, I make that. So I gave him some baits, and when I met him, he's an older guy. He's probably 70, 75, something like that. So I put, you know, like one of all my different type of bass baits in there. And when he saw that crawl, he's like, oh my God. I'm like, what? He's like, that looks like from back in the day when I was like, yes, exactly. So he asked me to make him some. And there it is, all this comes apart again. But you see, it looks like a grass shrimp to me, even though it's an old crawl. Got your little antennas and all that. Again, I did a video on it, but and that's that green pumpkin pink, which has been freaking good. Pink flake, if you can see it, probably getting a glare. But that's that. It's just a different. See how it's more slender, but all this is longer and skinnier. It's going to push out, I think, a little bit more and float a little bit better. I think that's going to be a great bait. I think it's going to be a sleeper bait for bass. You see that green pumpkin pink? There it is. Green pumpkin pink. Don't sleep on that color neither. That's the fluorescent pink in there. Down in the bait, it looks a little more orange. That one right there. But at the top, you get that brighter pink, but that green pumpkin subdues it a little bit. And that color's been good. Had a guy order a bunch of them, and then had another guy get some just to try them. He's like, you know, pretty good. So that's what I'm going to fish a lot when we get started back. I think it's going to be a good combination of like a green pumpkin orange. Okeechobee, Florida. Yes, sir. Love to go down there and do some fishing. Love it. Fishing them 40-pound bags, 45-pound bass bags. Yeah. Appreciate everybody being here, man. Like I said, I was just sort of bored and I was like, do a live, see who comes on. It's hard to do a video when it's the same colors you've already done on videos. You don't want to redo them all the same, so. And to do something different. I also got to make some salmon eggs as well, so. I've done one of those, it's been a while, so I may do it, I don't know when I get to them, but I got to finish this crappie baits up first. I've got like 20 packs I got to make, so. I sell them about a dozen. And one of them is 8 cavities, and I got 3 of them, so it's 2 packs if I have no problems. And the other one is just a 14 cavity on my stinger. And I never have any problems out of it, and I've never reduplicated that mold. I probably should. That way I can sit here and shoot 3 or 4 at a time. But, you know. So if you're looking at getting into bait making or get your baits into somewhere, go to your local tackle shops and talk to them first. There's Jurassic Park. Yes, sir. There's gonna be some bona fide studs in there. Big bucket mouths. And there they are, baby boy. This is what I've been catching them on, son. That stinger, but like I said, it's the type of fishing that I do, the style of fishing that I do. Oh, and look, I got a boo-boo. For some reason, the top 3 or 4 didn't get the color on top. So see, we screw up just as much as anybody else does. Those that go in my tackle box, though, because I'll still fish the crap out of them. Doesn't bother me a bit. And I'm trying to put my mold on upside down. Usually that's a sign sometimes of your mold getting warm, or one color was hotter than the other. And like I said, I'm just sort of halfway doing it right now. I don't know why, but I just don't feel like doing it, but I got orders, so. Got things to do tonight. Again, like, watch this. I'll take all this off, all this excess. Bloop, right back in there, and when it starts to lighten that black color up, I'll just add a little more black and maybe a little bit more of that June bug or skeletal or whatever I'm throwing in it at the time. Now if it's a legit new order, I make new plastic and I go from there to keep it pretty. And here's this second favorite, I guess, for crappie. 2.5 inch little shad body curl. I shoot a ton of them. 10-6. Ah, the wife 915, boy. She'll be out fishing you for long. I actually have 2 over 10. Like Hartwell is not a place you're gonna catch a 10-pounder, but we have some small lakes here that are really good. They're like diamonds in the rough. One of them is Broadway Lake, and it's not a big lake at all. But it holds some good ones, man. I've caught 2 over 10 out of that lake. Funniest thing is, it was cold, like colder than I like to fish. Oh, you run crappie charters? Awesome. Well, I need to send you some stingers, man. Just let you try ours. She already does. Bro, I took a lady friend, we'll call her, to a tournament fishing, and I can tell you one thing, I enjoyed it more because we have food and snacks. Never thought about that. And she just enjoyed being out there. We were getting close to weigh-in. I'm like, we need one more good bite. And she's like, no, we don't. And I'm like, what? She's like, we're fishing. I'm like, you're right. So it changes how you think about things, you know. For me, it's go, go, go. We gotta catch these fish. We're gonna try and win this thing. She's like, well, I've already won. I'm having fun. So pick your fishing partners better. Trust me, you'll have a lot more fun, and you'll have food. I never think about food when I'm going fishing. And I get out there and get hungry. Man, that day we actually took a break fishing. Oh, she runs them. Ah, well, if you want some jigs to try, man, let me know. I'll send you some. I just like knowing that my jigs are out catching fish other than for me, you know. A lot of people here use them. And I've sent some to a lot of different places, but you don't always hear from everybody. I'm going to shoot this little slapstick real quick and show you. I need some from my tackle box anyway. When they get finicky, I call it slap tail. I don't know the actual. We'll show you this. I don't think I've ever done a video on this one. I don't think. But when they get finicky or I need to get smaller with it, this is one I use. But I'm going to shoot it in the same colors. Matter of fact, Mr. Graves, I saw small water charters. Is that your? I'm guessing, yeah, that is your YouTube. I'll look it up and I'll subscribe and I'll watch it. I love catching crappie, dude. Crappie. We say crappie. Anybody else has a YouTube channel with videos? Let me know so we can subscribe and watch, man. That's how we build each other up. Support them by watching their videos. Even the big guys, I watch the big guys too, regardless. I know some are. I'm different in the fact that, you know, I don't get nothing that, you know, I'm not privy to one mold or one plastic or whatever. I just do the things that I like. Oh, I missed that comment. Maybe it'll come back up in just a second. I think I've got it. I wonder if I should turn it. Then I have to change the orientation. Let's just wait. I'll catch it on the next one, I promise you. Take this little mold here. Again, I don't even know where I got it. Maybe BTS back in the day. Maybe. I can't remember. If you're going to shoot it hot, just try to squeeze 4 of these on there if these are what you use or whatever. Because you can flash it if you go a little hot. But I've always used these. I used to use the ones that you screw in, you know, the little T-handle or whatever. You see what it does to your molds. It'll leave them spots on it and all, which I don't care. That doesn't affect how the mold works or anything like that. I used to use those, and then I saw that these worked. So I went with that. So as soon as it warms up, I'm going to do another video. I'd like to do another fishing video of when they're up shallow, when I'm busting their tail on a little cork, on every little blowdown or brush pile. A little more visual, because you can see the cork going under, stuff like that. But this cold front has stunted the water, I'm sure. We got a lot of rain. So it's going to warm it up a lot. Cool it down a lot because it was so cold. But once we get a little bit of warm weather, that muddier, dingy water will warm up faster than the clear water does. So, you know, it's good and bad to have that muddy water. And with the muddy water, I'll go to colors I don't use as much. I use a lot of these natural colors like that. And just the regular water, just slightly stained or whatever. So I'll be able to use some more brighter, darker colors now, I guess you'd say. Oh, where you going? Don't you fall. I'm trying to clean my injector out. Just not into it today, man. Just not into it. Usually when I come in here to make baits, I got my music jamming, and I just get in my own little world. But of course you can't have music or whatever, maybe copyrighted or whatever. But let's shoot this little slap too. I'll show you the difference in them. And the profile and the size of the bait. They're really the size, I think they're the same length, but the profile is different. So when they get finicky and they don't want to bite, because there's nothing worse than pulling up, seeing 300 or 400 crappie on your daggone live scope, and you can't get them to bite. People say, "Oh, that live scope's cheap." It don't make them bite, bro. I mean, it does help big time, but it doesn't make them bite. And I've had groups of them, and you could bring your jig right through the middle of them, and you'd watch the school just spread apart. The jig would come through, and they'd go back together. So I'm like, them fools ain't eating. They ain't nothing you can do about it. You might as well just leave and come back later. But you got all these people, I'm forward face and cheating it. And get over it, dude. And then you got, I sucked up a little air on that. These old schoolers, the bass professionals that used to be, that are complaining about forward-facing sonar, now it's cheating, it's this and that. These are the same guys that took advantage of technology back then. Is it as fun to watch? No, it's not, when they're just sitting there looking at a screen fishing. But they took advantage of technology back in the 70s and 80s when your depth finders first come out and all, you know. So why are they so hell-bent that forward-facing is going to kill it? You know, they had the down imaging, then it went to the side imaging. They didn't not use it. They didn't say, "Oh, that's cheating." They used it. So I'm just sort of tired of hearing that. And for me, a lot of times, if you'll notice on my crappie video the other day, if I get on the side of a dock and I'm throwing down it, I'll turn my trolling motor once I can get set up with the wind or whatever, and I'll turn my transducer head away from the fish. And I do that because I keep hearing that they can feel it, they can hear it, something like that. So I just turn it away from them. And a lot of times bass fishing, I'll just get in the areas that I know I've always caught fish, and I won't even turn that thing on. Now there are times that I stick to that thing. If I'm not catching fish, I'll watch it. Because if I pull up and ain't no fish there, it's time to drive on. No reason to sit there for no fish. And I've also got some tricks that I haven't shown on the video. I will on this next one. But I want to show what I do. If you have forward facing and have some issues, it may help you, it may not. I hear a lot of people saying, "Well, I can't see my bait or my jig." Well, if you're using a little 1/16 ounce jig head, it's hard to see. But I'm going to show y'all what I use. I don't have it here with me, but I'll do a little short on it eventually. But get a pure glass bead, not the plastic ones. Get a glass one. Go up your line about 15, 16, 18 inches. Just crimp you a little, you ain't got to do a swivel and all that. Just crimp you a little bitty, small, removable split shot, but have that glass bead up above it. That glass bead will beam on your live scope. So if you're having problems seeing your jig, I do after about 25 foot. Sometimes it's good and clear. If I'm fighting the wind, sometimes I don't have it on screen all the time. Look at getting one of them glass beads. Put it up above you. Put it on and put your little split shot on your jig head. It helps big time. Big time. That if you can't see your jig, that bead is going to show up, and I think the bead also helps. But get the glass, not the plastic. I think the bead also helps your jig show up. I don't know if it's reflecting off both of them or what, but Works great. But when it's nice and clear out there like we had been, I don't do that because I don't need to. I can still see my jig head. Here's that other little bait that I like when they get finicky. Hold on. That didn't come out all perfectly, but... So these are my 3 baits of choice. Daggone glare right here. Of course the stinger, you know. Then the curly tail, both are 2.5, 2.4 and 2.5. Then I'll go to this. Lot smaller profile, lot thinner profile, has a little bitty paddle tail on it, or like a slight paddle tail. I'll go to this one because you tear it off right here. But if you want to go smaller with it, just bite you a little piece off or a little chunk off. When they're getting real finicky, that little bait right there is pretty good. Pretty good. So, and that'll make a good little shad color in that bait. What I've never understood is, look at the size of the runner for all them little bitty baits, but I don't have problems with that mold neither. You know, it doesn't suck down near as much, but look at that runner, all that plastic it gets. There's more plastic in the runner than there are in the baits, so that's them, that little slap tail. When they get finicky, I know you can go a lot smaller. You can buy a 1.5 inch something, but I'll go to that. And if it's still a little bit too big, but the profile is so much smaller, I don't really have to go smaller. But I can, you know, just bite off a little piece or tear it off, whatever, cut it. And that little profile there is for when they're picky. When they're picky and finicky, that's one that I'll go to. Especially when they're pressured a lot too. Very good. Again, I don't remember where I got this mold. You may better look at it and tell, but I think it was BTS. I think a long time ago. So I've had that for quite a while. And it catches them. Then you got to be finicky. They'll bite that too when they're biting like crazy. But again, you know, it's all about what you like, what you're feeling. Yes, downsize. Big. And like I said, that profile is just so much smaller. So much thinner. Always downsize. I wish I had maybe some 1.5s. What's up, man? How y'all doing? Pumpkin seeds always good. What was it, 510 baits? Always downsize. When they get picky, they get finicky. So that is a good one to use. I like it. And there's several others, but without getting down to like ice fishing size baits, because you know I won't sell those, but well, not around here. But some of those small baits, man, come in handy when they're not biting. And people, like I said, people say, "Oh, you got an eye scope, you're cheating." Bro, I have been on 300 crappie, biggins crappie, and they just wouldn't bite. My jigs, anybody else, or live minnows. You know, there's times they don't want it. Oh yeah, man, glow in the dark's pretty cool. That my comments are disappearing a little bit. I got half of it. Any different baits for perch? We don't fish for perch except for crappie. Kill me because you know they call it something different everywhere. I'm in Louisiana at Socolay. Here we call them crappie, but everybody else calls them crappie. And then some people call them white perch. We don't fish for or we don't have a big enough abundance of the yellow perch. You can catch some here now and then, but not in a big abundance like I see some ice fishing videos and guys are catching pretty good sized perch. We don't really have that here. We've got perch, but I don't know of anybody that really goes after them here. Um, I don't know why, because they are good to eat. I've had some, but we just don't have them. We have them, but not, I would say, a big enough. Same with walleye. We actually have some walleye. I want to go catch walleye. We have some here, but there's not a lot. I've caught one in my lifetime here, and it was on live bait while I was striper fishing. Too much for steel mold. About that, the 1.25, yeah. 1.25s, 1.5s, downsize. That's the smallest I go right now, but I will go to a 2-inch, but sometimes it's even less than that when we're gonna get them bites. You just never know. So that again, that's the smallest one that I go to. Oh yeah, middle con 1.5 swim bait's perfect too. I've even thought about trying a little small swim bait. I try to look at molds as to what I'll use and what will catch. Just depends, you know. But that one there, Mr. Gray's mold, that Helter Smelter. What I'll do with these, one thing that I've learned is I get the minnow type heads, and I go ahead and chop it. It keeps me from having to put eyeballs on. I'm getting old, I can't see, and this sucks. I wanted eyeballs on them, and I do. If I'm drop shotting or something like that, I want eyeballs on them. But I found a little jig head at work. I can't remember the name of it, but if I remember, I'll pop them on. But I'll cut off like that much of this bait, so I'll have this, and it fits up onto that head perfectly. Caught 13 species, but a curly tail grub's hard to beat just about anywhere. You can't beat them. But I'll cut that off right there. Another good. The only reason I think this bait is so good is it just looks so lifelike. It looks like a freaking minnow. It's so good. And they get finicky, I'll go to it, even though it is bigger. This is 3 inches. But again, I knock it down, and then with the jig head, it makes it back almost to 3 inches. And let them get finicky. That's what I'm going to do. Look, I just made the eyeball come off. I didn't glue them. I ain't got my glue. But my eyes are getting so bad up close. I hate putting these things on there. And I had so many orders, and I was like, man, I can't see them that good. Because I never have readers. I always leave them laying around somewhere. But another good, just a realistic profile. Something more realistic helps me when they're being finicky and smaller. So like I said, I can cut that down, put it on that jig head, and it'll fit from here, usually about right in that area there. Chop it down from there, and it fits that little jig head that we've got perfectly. So it butts up to it nice. It ain't a round head, you know. It actually has a minnow type head on it. It may even be made by Duckett, I think. I don't know, but I'll look at them and see. I may even do a video on it. Most versatile for crappie or crappie for me, and around here the way that we fish is the stinger. We fish a lot of deep fish. That fishing video I did, we were catching them in 43 foot of water. Or I was catching them in 43 foot of water, but they were stacked from 8 foot to 35 foot, with the big ones down at the bottom. That is my favorite. I sell these quite often, and I use these quite often. It's just a bait it's my confidence bait. All right, be careful, Mr. Gray. It is a confidence bait. For me, the curly tails, I fish a lot of this little shad body curly tail just because, you know, maybe it's a little more realistic in some folks' eyes. It just sells better. But I do have the Angling AI 2-inch and the 2.5 inch. They're all good too. Like I said, those molds are just a little pain in my butt because they have to be hot. If I shoot them cold, that long runner, the plastic doesn't flow good. So I have to heat those molds up. Every other mold I like to shoot cold. They shoot better cold for me, not those two. So most versatile for me is the stinger. but that's the way we fish here a lot also. And once they move up, I'll use it, and I'm going to use the skirt mold or the tube mold that I got, the angle AI tube mold. When they move up shallow and you can catch them at 4 or 5 foot on a lay down, I love the little tubes. Like I've said on the video before, we used to go to Bass Pro Shops before I was making them. They had these little packs called squirming squirts, like a 1.5, 1 3/4 inch little tube, and catch the snot out of them on them. So that's also a good bait. So I'm gonna pour up some of those for me. Yellow body whitetail is what we use, and we hammered them. So that is a good one for me. Also, but for me, number one is the stinger. Guys that troll, they love the curly tails, the grubs, the shad bodies. It depends on me. Sometimes I can fish a stinger and they're just nipping at it. The last fishing video I did, all the fish up top were just nipping at it. When I got it down deep to the big girls, they were eating. The ones up top wasn't. So I switched to a curly tail to see if that would stop up top. It wasn't hitting it that day. So for me, it's the stinger, always. All right, brother, be careful. Watch your back out. Well, you ain't working anymore, so like me, you retire. I'm about to run too. I've got make plans here, or not make plans, but I got to do a little dinner here in a little while. Because it is Thanksgiving. Or I'm in Thanksgiving. What is this thing called? Valentine's Day. Anyway, I got to get ready for that. And I guess I need to probably take a shower and wash glitter off of me and whatever. But I appreciate y'all being here, man. It was just something to do. So I went live. Hope somebody got something out of it. Again, if anybody's ever looking for anything, the flake, baits, whatever, you can email me at the www.5.0, so confusing, but FIVE.0 custombaits@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on my Facebook or Instagram with a message. And if it comes down to it, I'll give them, once I know you're not some freaking scammer or something, but I ain't too worried about that. Yeah, I'll give you my number to call if you want to make an order or whatever. I appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate it, Mr. Doyle. Blue Line, Mr. Graves, I appreciate all y'all being here. Everybody that's watching, appreciate it. I'm going to get ready for Valentine's Day, man. Got to smile and feed the lady and give her some. I don't do roses or flowers, I do plants, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it's getting there. It's picking up, so, I never thought it would get as big as it is now, so, who would want to look at this and listen to this? But I did it because I like watching other folks and I'll learn stuff from them and maybe somebody will learn from me. I like doing it. I love making baits. I love messing with colors, coming up with colors. Again, just because you come up with them don't mean they're going to work. But I make some cool ass colors. It's just whether they're going to work or not. But I've really gotten into some that I really like that do well for me. My moon dust, my version of moon dust is really good. But let me get out here and get ready, guys. I appreciate y'all being here, man. Enjoyed it. If y'all need anything, feel free to hit me up. I'll answer any questions you got or get you whatever you need. Y'all have a good one, brother. Let's go do this Valentine's Day thing and kiss up to the old lady. We'll see you. Be good. Oh, let me get this over here.